you through some of what I consider to be the golden rules of failure. Give you two very different examples and then remind you of the golden rules of failure. I told you what I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you what I told you. So the golden rules, number 1, don't defend the failure. Number 2, fail quickly. Number 3, learn something. Number 4, don't fail the same way twice. But I'm going to come back to that one. Be gracious with yourself. And my favorite acronym is, it stands for First Attempt in Learning. So, example number 1 is a sport. So similar to musical instruments, sports are hard. You basically go to practice and fail for 2 hours, and then come back to practice the next day, fail for 2 hours, rinse and repeat, right? So when you show up at the game, you fail less, and you score more points. So if you're learning a sport, so for me it was basketball. With that golden rule, don't defend the failure, you would never defend failing in a practice, right? Like, sorry coach, I missed the shot. You're just gonna run a lap and you're gonna do it again. You're gonna do it again. Fail quickly, like I said, you're already failing hundreds of times. Learn something, you're obviously there to learn from a coach. They're helping you, they're coaching you. Now this is the one around don't fail the same way twice. I think if it's small failures, like learning an instrument or a sport, you're going to fail the same way hundreds of times because you're fine-tuning it and you're trying to hit that level of perfection. My second example that I'll get to around don't fail the same way twice is if it's bigger, because you should have learned something, you should have adjusted, and you shouldn't really do that same thing twice. Be gracious with yourself. So if you wanted to learn a sport or an instrument, you went to practice and you sucked and you didn't go back, that's not showing grace at all, and you'll never succeed. Same thing with classes, right? So hopefully you're not getting straight A's, honestly, on all assignments, because if you are, you're not trying hard enough, and you need harder classes. And then again, first attempt in learning, so I think that goes without saying. My other example is more around my career. So there's one project that I've been driving for over a year now. It's called Rambo. So raise your hand if you know who Rambo is. Yes, okay. So Rambo had to survive, right? He had to literally survive or he was going to die. So my project is called Rambo because it was a data survival operation. So the word data in whatever is in my title. So I had to drive this project, otherwise we were going to lose our entire data environment. And we set off to go use this new data lake sort of deal that the company was rolling out. People were using it, but little drips and drops. And I could see into the future that we were going to fail if we didn't go to this new thing. So we have what's called gate reviews. Big projects like that are 5 phases, so you have 5 gates. We made it through gate 1, easy peasy. Gate 2, not so much. And what we learned was that we had to take a step back and run a pilot. So if you ever done a pilot, it's called a proof of concept. All you're doing is kicking the tires and trying to fail in a safe way. So that you've learned something, you've adjusted, you recalibrate, and then when you want to spend the company money, you do it in the right way. So with that one, the golden rule, don't defend the failure, I didn't. The gate review didn't go well. I took the feedback, adjusted, did a literal lock-in. I had my team and some leaders, locked them in a conference room for 8 hours, got a whiteboard, and said, what do we need to do different? But there were no apologies, there was no need to defend anything. Fail quickly, so we did. It was gate 2, not 5, which is good. Learn something. We learned a ton. So not only did we learn a lot through that project, my team has now become the experts in the data lake for the company. So it's been a wild ride, but it's paying off. And then don't fail the same way twice. We didn't, because we failed one really big way, and then a bunch of other new ways, but we never failed the same way twice. Be gracious with yourself. So with this project, because of how sensitive and expensive it is, I spend extra time doing, it's called CYA. Raise your hand if you know what CYA is. It stands for cover your ass. So when you take notes, take copious notes about meeting minutes that you're having, who approved what did you try, blah, blah, blah. So I would do more around that. So I was gracious with myself in that I would take extra time to take these copious notes. And then first attempt in learning, like I said, we're the first team. Well, I don't know if I actually said this. So the project that we're driving, Rambo, we're the first team to get this particular piece of data, this type of data, into the data lake. It's really complicated and it's really exciting and we're killing it. So thank you. So back to the golden rules. Don't defend the failure. Fail quickly. Learn something. Don't fail the same way twice, unless it's tiny, lots of frequent failures. That's different. Be gracious with yourself, and it stands for first attempt in learning. So the big headline is, failure is only a failure when you stop. It's not a failure if you learn something, adjust, and you keep going. So my headline, if you will, on my LinkedIn profile says, get uncomfortable and grow. And I firmly believe that if you are so scared of failing that you don't try, you will be bored and you'll be scared. So get uncomfortable and grow, and remember the golden rules.